Hey, what's up guys? Chris Flick here. Today we're going to be talking about a principle I'm just going to call the 90-10 principle, right? And what this principle is, if you're a coach or a teacher, you work with kids as a camp counselor, whatever it may be, right? You want to spend 90% of your time trying to get to know the kids that you're working with, right? You need to know their names, you need to know if they have siblings, you need to know what school district they go to, you need to know their favorite subject in school, things like that nature. You need to ask them questions like, hey, what do you think exists? What's more likely to exist, ghosts or aliens? That gets people talking. You need to bring up different points. You need to bring up football teams, baseball teams, who's got a better sport, what's a tougher sport, things like that. Get the kids talking, build a relationship, try to connect with them on some sort of level, find out what they're interested in. And if it's something that you know nothing about, ask them about it. Ask them what that is. And then listen, let them talk, right? You want to give these kids the ability to talk to an adult and not feel like they're about to get corrected, judged for it, whatever. Listen, all right? So that you spend 90% of your time trying to build that connection, right? That every so often, this kid might do something that you don't want them to do. They might be screwing around a little bit too much, or you might just need to have a hard conversation with them. That might happen 10% of the time, right? But if you don't build up this 90, if you don't let them know that you care, then this 10%, that message that you got to give them, say 10% of the time, like, hey, we're done with that. We're going to go play this, or we're going to go do that. Knock it off. Do your sets. Or like, hey, I don't think being on that travel team is a good idea, right? If you don't build up that connection with the kid or the family, this conversation, that 10% conversation, that message is not going to go over as well, all right? The inverse of this seems to happen all over the place. I was just talking to a friend over the weekend, and he's going to a club. He's playing a sport at a club, right, a wrestling club, and the kid's young, man, like not even 6 years old yet. And they're trying to flip this factor. We're like, if you give me hard work, then you could have fun, right? That's not the right message. Manchester United, one of the greatest soccer programs in the world. This guy says he's working with the 8 to 10-year-old kids in their developmental program. He said they come. He said we play a game right away. We're throwing the balls down. We're letting the kids have some fun. These kids don't need a dynamic warm up. They're not even 10 years old yet. They don't need some sort of structured, instruction right off the bat. Let's get the kids here. He said when they switched to playing games right away, he said everybody showed up on time. Could you imagine that? Kids are actually showing up to practice excited. He said when they're going to scrimmage other teams, that other team is looking over at them. They're seeing the kids. They're seeing the smiles. They're seeing the fun that's going on over there. Meanwhile, their team is doing some ridiculous warm-up and other kind of drills to kind of get ready for a game. 8 to 10-year-olds, remember that. Start with some fun, man. Get them engaged early with the fun. Build that 90% relationship. And then when you got to pull it back a little bit, and when you got to get serious, they'll listen to you, man. Hope you guys liked this video. Peace, everybody.